So this agent calls me up out of the blue and said, Derek, guess what? Do you remember you came to Nice to play a game against Nice for your national team? And I went, yeah, I remember that. Well, guess what? Nice are really interested in signing you. So I was kind of shocked and I was kind of like taken back, and I was like, are you sure about that? What? OGC Nice, Nice in the south of France, OGC Nice. And he's like, yeah, they're really keen on you. They've been following your progress.
Like a big club.
Yeah, it's a massive, one of the most successful teams in France.
Won like 3 or 4 league titles.
Exactly. So I thought it was a prank call, to be honest, because I was not expecting a team of that level to be interested in me. But I said happened to be true, and I said, all right. So he managed to convince me that it was actually a true story and it wasn't a hoax. So I said, all right, that's great news. What's the next stage? And he said, you have to come to France. So I was thinking that, okay, that's fair enough, because guess what? My coach has just told me that he doesn't need me for next season. So this couldn't happen for at a more perfect time. So I'm just going to speak to him and get his permission to come over to France, obviously to negotiate contracts and to check the country out and to check the city out, check the team out, check the facilities out, see if I'm sure I would have liked it, but I just want to do my due diligence to make sure that it's the first time I'm going out of the country that I'm not going to, I'm going to like give myself the best opportunity to do well. So I arranged a meeting with Gary Peters, and when I got to the meeting, he said like everything, a deal has been agreed with Swindon Town, and all I have to do is go and speak on personal terms. And so I said, yeah, all right, fair enough, that's great, but another team has come into the fold, which is OGC Nice, French top division side. And I can't, like, his face, I don't know, for some reason I thought bad energy from him as soon as I mentioned that another team from the south of France is interested in me in the top division in France. So I said, is it okay if I fly over to France to go and have the meeting with Nice and obviously check the city out, check the place out, check the club out, and see if I like it there, because apparently they want to sign me. And is that okay if I go over to Nice? So he turned around and told me that no, you're not going to Nice. And I was
How you doing, everyone? My name's Sean Mcgeeney. I'm the Director of Exposure Sport. Work in schools, doing lots of sports stuff. Known Derek a long time, the Tottenham Pele. Yeah, I just wanted to find out, rack your brains about your move to Nice, how it materialized, your thoughts at the time, how you're feeling. Because I've known you all the way through the journey. So
yeah, what's happening, Sean? How are you doing? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yeah. Good to have you over at my place.
Thank you, thanks for the invite. It's been a long time, it's always good catching up with you,
Absolutely.
seeing how you are. Thank you for inviting me to your beautiful home. I'm honoured to be here.
You're always welcome, always welcome.
Thank you.
So, today we're going to be talking about Derek's, how his mind was when he was going to Nice, his thoughts, because I know it was a very tricky situation in your career, a difficult time. And it should have been like the making of you, it should have been where you kick on at the highest level, the Premier League in France, their top division. So I just wanted you to like maybe tell the people how you're feeling. I know, because I was there, I was with you in Nice, I visited you for a couple of months. I feel like you need to talk about it to make yourself maybe reconcile with yourself in your own mind, how you're feeling, because I'm sure it's had an effect on you. So yeah, just, it'd be nice if you could tell the people more about the actual stay in Nice, the managers that you worked under, how you felt you were treated, given that they really chased you to come over there. and promised you lots of different things. And I feel that your story, you know, what you experienced, for you to talk to people and tell them, can help their experience be better or make better decisions or different decisions, you know, to what they're doing at the moment. Because there is hope, you know. But yeah, use your experience to help others.
Yeah, definitely that's all it's about. And like you said, it's been something that I haven't talked an awful lot about because of some personal reasons, and just because of the person I am. I'm such a proud person, and it's hard for me to talk about things like that. And sometimes it's good to talk about it so that you can move away from it, move on from it, and share it with other people, because I've kept everything in that only a few people like yourself and a few close family members know exactly what happened in Nice or what I went through. And I kept that under wraps because I don't know, it's hard to talk about things like this, because you always want people to see you in a good light, and you always want people to see you in the best possible way. But sometimes that's wrong, and sometimes it's just best to like just tell your story and just be proud and be everything happens for a reason, and just move on with it. Do you know what I mean?
So firstly, why don't you explain, I know, to the people how the Nice move actually came about, how when you first heard about the interest, etc.
The Nice move came about after the end of the season, the 2006-2007 season, where Shrewsbury Town got to the playoff final. We did really well, had a good successful season. I personally I thought I had a really good season, and I put in some really good performances. We made it to Wembley, but unfortunately we lost in the playoff final to Bristol Rovers, which was a painful experience. But at the same time, I became the first Ghanaian player to play at Wembley, and I became one of the few players, professional players, to actually play at Wembley. So it was a good experience all in all. And basically at the end of the season, my manager at the time, Shrewsbury, called me into his office to have a chat with me, like a yearly review how things went. But to my surprise, he turned around and told me that for next season he's not going to need my services.
Wow, so it was a big shock.
Yeah, which came to me as a big shock, because at the end of the day, I thought I was fundamental in the success of Shrewsbury that year, and next year was only going to get better. I was only going to try and get to the next step, and I thought I had still a major part to play for the team. But unfortunately, obviously he had other plans. I don't know if he wanted to bring in other players. I don't know if he was speaking with so much emotion because he felt maybe the players had let him down in the playoff final. I don't know, but the words that came out of his mouth was a big shock to me, and I was really disappointed to hear it. But at the same time, he also went on to say that there's a team called Swindon Town that was interested in me, and he thought that would be a better move for me, because I'll get more, because he doesn't see me as playing as much next year. I'll get more game time, and they're keen on me to sign for them. Plus they were in a league above the league where Shrewsbury should have got promoted if we would have won the game at Wembley. So like I say, it was a big disappointing shock to me, and I accepted it. I took it, and then just went on about my business and see how the next few weeks will plan out. Because at that moment in time, all I wanted to do was go away for holidays and just put last season. Yeah, after a long season, put last season behind me. But obviously I couldn't, because I needed to know what my next move is. I needed to sort myself out for next year. Otherwise, I won't be able to go and relax.
Well, it's like for a normal person, if they don't have a job, or you know, it's stressful. You know, you don't know where your income's coming from. You know, no one's made of money, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So I needed to sort that out ASAP. So within that, the first time Nice ever came into my life, or I'd ever heard of Nice, was when I got called into the Ghana national team for my first international game, in which we played against. Does it happen quite a lot? Because it was a country and we played against a club.
I think it might be like behind closed doors sort of thing, where they have an affiliation with a club. Or,
yeah.
And it's good for the club because they get to see players that they might not have seen before.
Exactly. So the Ghana national team, my first game, the squad was really strong. So they called me because I had a really good end of the season with Chester City, where at one point I had 7 or 8
More or
goals.
less kept them up.
I kept them up. I had 7 or 8 goals in 4 games or something like that, and that was amazing. So obviously Ghana took note and invited me for the game against Nice. So that's what my affiliation with Nice came about. Played the games against them at Nice's ground. It was a nice experience. South of France, beautiful place. So that's my first affiliation with Nice. So obviously Nice kept tabs on me. I think they was following my progress, and I scored. Like from when Nice came into my life, if you think about it, the last few games for Chester, I scored like 7 or 8 goals, and then I went on to play another 40 games for Shrewsbury and scored another 11 goals. So that's basically 21 goals if you think about it in about
over a season.
Yeah, over a season. So that's quite impressive, and I had quite a lot of assists. So they obviously held me, thought I was a good player, and they inquired about me. They contacted an agent that I had a dealing with after the Ghana game. He asked me if I wanted to go to Europe to play like top flight football, because I was still looking for a club after the Chester City season. So I knew the agent. He tried to get me to go to Greece, a top team in Greece, but at the time I thought England was football. I didn't know football outside of England, so I wasn't sure that I wanted to go away. I wanted to play in England. I wanted to prove myself in England, so I decided to stay in England and sign for Shrewsbury Town. So this agent calls me up out of the blue and said, "Derek, guess what? Do you remember when you came to Nice to play a game against Nice for your national team?" And I went, yeah, I remember that. Well, guess what? Nice are really, really interested in signing you. So I was kind of shocked, and I was kind of like taken back, and I was like, are you sure about that? What, OGC Nice, Nice in the south of France, OGC Nice? And he's like, yeah, they're really keen on you. They've been following your progress.
Like a big club.
Yeah, it's a massive, one of the most successful teams in France.
Like 3 or 4 league titles.
Exactly. So I thought it was a prank call, to be honest, because I was not expecting a team of that level to be interested in me. But as it happened to be true, and I said, all right. So he managed to convince me that it was actually a true story and it wasn't a hoax. So I said, all right, that's great news. What's the next stage? And he said, you have to come to France. So I was thinking that, okay, that's fair enough, because guess what? My coach has just told me that he doesn't need me for next season. So this couldn't happen at a more perfect time. So I'm just going to speak to him and get his permission to come over to France, obviously to negotiate contracts and to check the country out and to check the city out, check the team out, check the facilities out, see if I'm sure I'd have liked it, but I just want to do my due diligence to make sure that it's the first time I'm going out of the country that I'm not going to, I'm going to like give myself the best opportunity to do well. So I arranged a meeting with Gary Peters, and when I got to the meeting, he said like everything, a deal has been agreed with Swindon Town, and all I have to do is go and speak on personal terms. And so I said, yeah, all right, fair enough, that's great, but another team has come into the fold, which is OGC Nice, French top division side. And I can't, like, his face, I don't know, for some reason I thought bad energy from him as soon as I mentioned that another team from the south of France is interested in me in the top division in France. So I said, is it okay if I fly over to if I fly over to France to go and have the meeting with Nice and obviously check the city out, check the place out, check the club out, and see if I like it there, because apparently they want to sign me. And is that okay if I go over to Nice? So he turned around and told me that no, you're not going to Nice. And I was so shocked, and I was like, looking at him and I was like, why can't I go over to Nice? And he's like, no, because a deal has already been agreed with Swindon, and you need to go over there and sign the contract with Swindon. So I said, no, I'm not going to sign a contract with Swindon until I exercise my right to go and speak to Nice and find out what they're offering me. You understand? Because Swindon and Nice, there's a huge gulf, difference. You know what I mean? And if I'm happy with everything at Nice, I would prefer to go to Nice, especially that you told me that I should look for another team. Okay, so Gary said no, and I was very surprised and disappointed in him. But at the same time, I called the agent up, and said that I can't come to France.
Which must have been hard to do, because that's where your heart was.
Yeah, it was really really difficult for me to do and tell the agent I can't come to France. But the agent turned around and told me that, listen, Derek, chances like this come round, it doesn't come round often. And if you don't take this chance, there's a chance for you to go to a top division, prove yourself. Don't let Gary Peters destroy your dreams. He's not looking after your best interest. You know yourself that you deserve this opportunity, so don't let it go to waste. I'm telling you that, trust me, come to France with me. Just tell him that you're going to France, make him aware that you're going to France, and come to France, and let's go and speak to Nice and see what you think. Okay, so I was thinking about what he said, and a lot of things that he said really made sense, because at the end of the day, opportunities like this don't come along very often. Like I'm getting the chance to go to the south of France. It's a top holiday destination for a lot of Brits, and I'll be getting a chance to do my job that I love in France, in the south of France. So I called up. I spoke to Gary Peters. So I spoke to Gary Peters and said, sorry, Gaffer, I know you said I can't go to France, but my heart's really in it, so I'm going to go to France. And he said, no, you're not. Do not go. So I said to him, I am going to Nice, whether you like it or not, because this is a big opportunity for me, and I have to take charge and look after my own interests.
But I also think some footballers wouldn't even have had the respect and, given the manager the time after he had already told them you're surplus to requirements, whatever. Would some players? I'm sure. I know football players. They'll take offence. They wouldn't have even asked him. They'll just go and do it. You've done it the respectful way. And in all due respect, Gary Peters, I don't think he can tell you as a person, a man, sorry, no, you can't go. He's not your father. You've got a contract with the club, but the club are negotiating with other clubs.
To get rid of me. So you're absolutely.
The player should have the power.
I should have the power. Your
career is a short-term thing. It doesn't last very long. You have to make the best economical decisions for yourself.
100%, and that's all that I was thinking, because at the end of the day, I've been playing League 1, League 2 football, League 1, League 2 football all my career. I'm 26 now, and I have no substantial saving. I have nothing in the bank, so to speak. I've got paid well, but it's not life changing.
No.
You understand?
No.
And Nice is a top French division, and they'll give me the opportunity to better my life, give me the opportunity to be more financially secure. Do you know what I mean? Because I've given a lot to football, and I haven't really gotten a lot back. And if my career was to end that day, I would have nothing in the bank to show for it. And as much as fans like to shout, and no one would, like, if I needed money to buy a house, or if I needed money to put petrol in my car, I'm sure none of the fans would be willing to put money in their pocket to support me that way. So as much as I love playing for the club, I have to sometimes look after number one, which is yourself. And if you don't, who else is going to look out for you? So I
I
made
think
that.
it was quite a brave move, to be honest. I think for someone of your age, in the position you've been put in, I think it was a
Yeah, yeah. It was not. It was not an easy move. People think that oh, he's just arrogant. He just got up. It wasn't. I had to.
But anyone that knows you would know you're not arrogant.
Yeah,
You're not an arrogant person. Where that could come from.
There's a lot going about, and when you talk to people, when you ask people, like when people ask, "Oh, Samoa so arrogant," he thinks he's the best. No, it's not. I'm not arrogant. Some people confuse my quietness. Like if someone don't stimulate me, if someone don't come and talk to me, approach me, I find it very hard to talk to people directly. Like even Sean's my friend, but if he wasn't as extroverted person as he is, I might not even be friends with him because I'm not that person to approach people. I stay in my corner, I stay in my lane, and if you talk to me, I will talk back to you. And I wouldn't be the first one to start a conversation with anyone. That's just the person I am. I can't help who I am. It's not because I'm arrogant. It's not because I'm better than anyone else. But within my team, I was always loved. People accepted me for who I am. I was always like, when I get comfortable and I feel comfortable around people, I become the joker of the pack. I become my what do you call it, comes out. My personality comes out. And a lot of people like talking rubbish, like, oh, my teammates don't like me. But trust me, I was one of the most loved person in the changing room. I was one of the most people spoke highly of me within the team environment.
Do you think that maybe because, which it shouldn't be linked together, but only from knowing you and being out with you and meeting your teammates many times, you know, because you're flamboyant, your playing style, because you're not your pass it sideways, basics football player, you're high tempo, 100 miles an hour, trying to make things happen, creating opportunities, scoring goals. Maybe people think that comes with you off the pitch.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, exactly. Like you said, they think because I'm extravagant on the field. I try things that other people won't do, and I do things.
Well, they can't do.
Yeah.
That's me saying it, not you.
Yeah. So they might relate to it outside, like, oh, he's like this on the pitch. He might be exactly the same. Like he thinks he's too good to talk to anyone. Or no, that's absolutely wrong. If you meet anyone that's ever met me, I'm the most polite person. A lot of fans that do interact with me, they have nothing but positive things to say about me. And I'll be one of the people to sign 1,000 autographs. So I have to stay and do it because I'm that type of person. So,
there was like something that I just thought about. How media has a part to play in stuff. So I'm right in thinking, I remember at the time when you were in Nice, when you'd gone over there to do a recce to see what was going on, you got a call from Gary Peters, and he wasn't being adverse to you being there. He knew you were there. He said, right, Derek, we need to come up with something, so the fans know how this has all panned out. But from what I see, that wasn't what was discussed in that phone call. Wasn't how it finished or how it came out in the local press. Or the club had the power there, not you.
Yeah, exactly. So the club had the power to like know what goes into the paper, or to transcript onto the public or the fans. I had no power. I did have this phone call with Gary Peters, which he claims that he didn't know where I was, but he knew exactly where I was, which is really, really like.
Well, the dial tone would give that away.
He knew exactly where I was because I told him that I'm in Nice, and he was telling me that, listen, he was a fan's favourite, because rightly so, because I worked so hard for Shoes Vuitton. I put everything into my work. I took pride in working for Shoes Vuitton, and I loved every minute of it. And you know what I mean? So he knew that I had a relationship with the fans, even though I might not have the best relationship with him. He knew that because the fans can see when someone wears their heart on their sleeves. And every single game I gave 110%, and they could see that. So I can see why the fans were frustrated, because they invested a lot of time, and it feels like they had a lot of love for me, because love and hate is very close. When someone loves you, it'll be
They can
just
hate
as
you
easy,
just as quickly.
yeah, to hate you. Do you know what I mean? So Gary Peters knew that, and he thought that we have to come up with a, because he knows the fans will be disappointed to lose me, so therefore we have to come up with a story to tell the fans that why I've left.
Would it be crazy for me to think that he was covering his own back, his own tracks, because he knew the backlash that would come from you going? The most, the player that they can. It's like, I watch a lot of football matches. There's certain players that you hope that are gonna turn up because they make it exciting. And I know for a fact, I don't need anybody else to tell me, that would have been you at Shrewsbury. So him speaking to you before, hoping to do it in such a way that Derek's moved on to a club in the division above, Swindon. It was a good, he can work that in such a way. I don't know if it was financial, or it was because of.
I think it was both. It was both financial for the club, and I feel that he has fallen out of love with me, so to speak. He had fallen, like he had different plans, and he had different direction he wanted to take the team, and he thought that my style of a player probably was not ideal. But then again, he was going to have to fight against the fans, the people that keep the
Swindon move would have made it a lot more easy for fans to digest, because in my eyes, the way he was going to portray it, Derek's moved on to a team in the division above. I know Nice is a big step up, but they had that already.
Yeah, they had
planned in their mind how they were going to deal with it. And you going somewhere else puts a spanner in the works.
Yeah, it did, because I think everything was planned out. What they were going to tell the fans, everything was planned out. So me bringing the Nice deal, which is a big deal for any player, because in the top, and I would have expected Shrewsbury Town to be like, if anything, happy about it. Like, wow, the top division, the top club in Nice. As a
positive,
we've attracted, we've attracted. One of my players has attracted interest from a top club in Nice. That's big. Let's play on this, and use this and get more publicity on the club, and wish Derek all the best, and let's hope that everything goes well and he signs a contract. But no, it was totally different. Everything from the outset just had a dark cloud over it. It was like so, my move to Nice was like so envious. There was so much negativeness surrounding it. It was just so frustrating, because all I wanted to do was better myself, and all I want is the respect of my manager. Because no one wants to move to a club like that, whether it's to better themselves or not. I'd rather move with the manager's blessing, with thanking the fans, saying thank you for a wonderful season. Maybe do a press conference, or maybe come back to the stadium and just
say bye, and
just say bye.
Support, Do
you know what I mean? It would have been my ideal way to leave, but everything just happened so fast. Like, I was like fighting against Gary Peters to like let the deal go through, because they was holding out. They wasn't letting the deal go through. I was missing crucial training sessions.
And that affected you when you first went to Nice. I remember you were a couple of weeks behind everyone else. It affects the move, the manager at that end.
He was getting frustrated, because to him he's just acquired a player, and he wants him, because they haven't signed a contract, so I can't go full in and be part of the team, but he wants to be part, and it's frustrating for him, because the league's about 2 weeks away or something. And
to me,
it's malarkey.
I can't see it being anything other, like, it's got to be financial. But I don't know how. I know that the club received a substantial amount of money for you going there. So where they get the money from, to me, doesn't really matter.
It shouldn't matter.
That would be how most people see it. So I don't know what the underlying issues were, but to me, he was covering his own back. You know, how long did he last after that at Shrewsbury? Did he make that season?
He didn't make it through that season.
That's what I mean. So
he didn't make it through that season.
Football's
it's just a fun. Like I just to this day I just don't understand why that I wasn't given his blessing. Like you said, if I went to Swindon, Shrewsbury Town would have got paid. If I went to Nice, Shrewsbury Town would have got paid. Unless he had some sort of relationship with Swindon whereby, I don't know. Well,
but the logic to me, I don't know why we let your best players go. However, unless it was going to
exactly
give him some more cash, where they get rid of you and he can maybe bring in 2 or 3 other lads for you.
Yeah,
for one player. That can be my only logical understanding of it. I don't know why else, and it would have looked good for the club in a way that Derek's moved on to bigger and better things. You know, he should be playing in a level above, which is true. But then he can say to the fans to dampen the disappointment. We're going to bring in 2 or 3 boys from, you know, wherever they come in from. You know, Chester or teams that have gone down. You know,
but that's what I don't understand about Gary Peters. Like, a lot of things could have been, a lot of this mess could have, why did he feel, even though he knew Swindon Town was interested in me, why did he feel the need to tell me that he doesn't need me in a team for the next season? I think the deal to Swindon could still happen by him just saying, like, I see you in my plans next year, but there's been a couple of teams that want you, so we're just gonna see. But
surely that would have been the better way to go. If it was in a different walk of life and not football, that's how you'd be spoken to.
That's how. Why do you have to go out your way just to make me feel certain way that I don't need you no more? I'm the one actually selling you. I'm the one that's telling clubs to come and take you. If you'd have said, like, listen, we've had a few offers, you're still a part of my team, you had a few offers, it's up to you to speak to them. If you go, I'll give you my blessing. If you stay, or I don't know whether he thought, because I enjoyed my time so much at Shrewsbury, I would have considered staying and not going to Swindon. That's why he thought to put it out there that I'm not part of these.
Maybe that's why he said that, because that's quite a broad statement for someone that's come in with that much goals and assists. Like, that makes sense. I haven't thought of that side of it before. Maybe that was the only way that he thought he could push you out the door. You know, financially for the club, that's what they were doing. But maybe he was saying not what his heart was saying, what his brain was saying, what he was being told to say. I don't know. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors. He's worried about his job. But within 6 months, he hasn't got a job at Shrewsbury anymore. So does now he think, do you think, should I have put Derek in that position? He's a 24, 25-year-old lad trying to make it in one of the hardest industries in the world. Should I have dealt with it better? Because I think he should have. He was a grown man.